400 kilometers beneath the ocean. Continents. And the world did not know for 30 years, and built in open water far from any coastline and anyone was watching.
Every diver who has ever touched this wall knows exactly why it stays quiet, delivering a striking statement that introduces.
Somewhere down there, something is quietly changing how the ocean itself behaves.
No public name, no official record, just a number bolted into the concrete.
No public name and no official record, just a number bolted into the concrete. So how do you build something in this massive underwater without the rest of the world ever noticing? Let us find out.
Building something 400 kilometers long is hard enough on land, underwater, with no one supposed to notice.
Before it becomes invisible. It starts as a plan. Almost no one was allowed to see it. Every piece of this wall has to survive a journey across open water before it ever reaches the seabed, directly emphasizing the demand. This concrete has to survive something ordinary concrete never, has to face decades underwater without ever breaking down. Every batch is tested against decades of saltwater exposure before it is ever approved, emphasizing the extraordinarily high durability.
This mix has to reach open water before it ever begins to cure, introducing element.
Alongside the concrete, a different kind of steel is being forged, treated specifically to resist decades of corrosion underwater. Without this coating, the ocean would take this steel apart in years, not decades.
Each component here is built to disappear beneath the waves and never be seen again, at least not for a very long time.
Unlike a normal construction convoy, this one leaves almost no trace behind it, delivering a striking statement. The material has arrived, now it has to go somewhere. Almost no one will ever see it again. Before anything is built, the ocean floor itself has to be prepared to hold it. The first piece of a 400-kilometer wall touches the ocean floor, delivering a striking statement that marks the definitive.
Every block here is guided into place by hand, even this deep underwater. Every bolt here has to hold under pressure. Most construction never has to consider.
Block by block, a wall begins stretching across the ocean floor, in a direction most maps will never show.
Persians. Everything happening below the surface is coordinated from a fleet most people would mistake for ordinary fishing boats. This steel was built for exactly this. Decades submerged without ever weakening, delivering a confident statement.
Even pouring concrete works differently down here, and it has to be engineered not to wash away before it sets.
The only way to see the whole picture is from instruments, never from the surface.
This work never really stops, even when the rest of the world is asleep, delivering a striking statement about the round-the-clock difference.
Every few days, another kilometer locks into place, quietly, kilometer after kilometer, delivering a
Now the finish that will let this wall blend perfectly into the deep ocean color finally markingly arrives. Even the color here was chosen for one reason, to disappear into the water it sits in. Small white markers, visible only to divers who already know exactly where to look, reinforcing the theme of carefully restricted access. For the first time, you can see exactly what this hidden wall actually looks like. Notice the angle. This is not just a wall, it is shaped specifically to redirect the force of the water above glaciers. Hundreds of sensors like this one will quietly monitor pressure and movement for decades to come, delivering every joint has to flex slightly with the ocean's movement, without ever fully giving way.
Even underwater, the joints under the most pressure get extra strength and almost no one will ever see.
200 kilometers down, 200 more still ahead. Above, the ocean can be violent. Down here, none of that ever reaches the wall. When the weather clears the work and the secrecy continues exactly where it left off. Underneath every finished panel is a steel skeleton built to outlast the wall's own paint. An entire network of cable runs alongside this wall, carrying data to a monitoring system almost no one has ever heard of, from up here, at sunset, and there is nothing to suggest anything unusual is happening beneath this exact spot.
Patchers. Every inch of this hidden wall still passes through very human, very careful hands, directly honoring the individual.
Even this deep and this hidden, no shortcut is taken with anyone's safety.
300 kilometers, and you still cannot see either end of it from any single point.
Not every section faces the same pressure, so not every section gets the same strength. Every completed segment has to prove it can handle exactly what the ocean will eventually throw at it, demonstrating the rigorous testing standards applied throughout.
After 400 kilometers, only one final gap remains.
The very last piece begins its journey down to where it will finally close the gap. And with that, 400 kilometers finally becomes one single unbroken wall. From down here, it is hard to believe something this size has stayed hidden for as long as it has. Even the very last panel gets the same careful finish as the very first one.
For the first time, the entire wall be monitored end to end from a single screen, delivering a strike rate.
Exactly as designed, the wall quietly redirects the force above it, without anyone on the surface noticing a thing, delivering a striking statement of confidence.
Even now, the smallest detail is never left unfinished. One by one, the vessels that built this wall now scatter quietly, without ever traveling together again. The site that once held an entire fleet now looks exactly like it always did, like nothing.
After all of this concrete steel and complete silence, it stands complete.
From this moment, the clock starts on 30 years of quiet, delivering a striking statement that the fleet is gone. The ocean looks exactly like it always did. Before it is ever declared finished, the entire wall is scanned end to end one final time. The number of people who officially know this wall exists is smaller than the crew that built it.
Somewhere in a single filing cabinet, one document quietly confirms it exists for anyone who ever thinks to look.
3 decades pass. The wall does not change. The ocean just grows a little closer around it.
Eventually someone finds it, not by searching for it, but by accident, delivering a striking statement of dramatic irony that marks the beginning of this project's eventual and unplanned discovery.
Then, just like that 30 years of silence finally starts to end.
Most of them will never see it in person. All of them will still stop to look.
Through all of it, the wall itself never once needed the world's attention to keep doing its job, delivering a powerful concluding statement. One wall, 400 kilometers, and an ocean that kept the secret longer than anyone expected.
Every sunrise will pass over this exact spot, the same way it always has.
This is not just concrete and steel. This is what happens when a nation decides some things are better built quietly. 400 kilometers, 30 years of silence, one ocean that never said a word.
This video is created for education and informational purposes using advanced AI tools and human creativity. All concepts, scripting, and storytelling are independently developed to ensure originality. Visuals and animations are generated or enhanced using AI technologies such as VO3, Meta AI, and Grok AI, while final editing and post production and completed using CapCut and other professional editing tools. No external created content has been copied or reused. Any semblance to real world environments, factories, or processes is purely coincidental. All scenes shows in this video are digitally created and do not represent real footage. This content is produced with transparency and follows YouTube monetization guidelines.